Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the March 29th, 2023 regular meeting for the Surrey Police Board. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and we'd like to recognize that the work of the Surrey Police Board takes place on the ancestral, traditional, and unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples. Melissa, I will give it to you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Sunner. We need a motion to appoint an acting chair. So the board needs to pass a motion pursuant to Section 25(2) of the Police Act. So if I could get a motion on that. Thank you. All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you. So before we begin today's meeting, I would, on behalf of the Surrey Police Board, I would like to extend our sincerest condolences to the loved ones of Constable Brett Ryan and Constable Travis Jordan of the Edmonton Police Service, who tragically lost their lives in the line of duty on March 16, 2023. We have a number of SPS officers that joined us following policing careers in Edmonton, including our own chief. And I want to take the time to let you all know that we're thinking of you and will ensure that you have the resources to take care of your mental health and wellness during this time. To those of you that took the time to attend the regimental funeral for Constables Ryan and Jordan and pay respects earlier this week, we thank you and are thinking of you as well. I would also like to extend our sincerest condolences to the loved ones of Sergeant Maureen Bro of the Surrey du Quebec, who also tragically lost her life in the line of duty yesterday, just mere days after Constable Ryan and Jordan. Our thoughts and prayers are with Sergeant Bro's family and loved ones, and also with each and every one of our officers as they process this unthinkable and incredibly difficult loss for all, and in particular for everyone in the law enforcement community. I would like to now pass it to Chief Lipinski to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. In the last 6 months, there's been 8 police officers that have tragically passed away on the courses of their duty. And having attended the Edmonton regimental funeral, it's a reminder for all of us that the dangers of policing, but it's also a reminder of the community support that all police officers receive. And I've seen it firsthand as I was in Edmonton, and the processional was very, very long. And the march from the staging area to Rogers Arena, it took at least half an hour, and it was lined up with people, sometimes 5 or 10 deep. And that kind of community support is so important in policing. And we appreciate that as police officers. And now with Sergeant Bro, again, we have to attend yet another funeral. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Chief Lipinski. So moving to the agenda now, could I get a motion for the adoption of the agenda, please? Thank you, Director Modell, and seconded by Director Gill. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, thank you. The agenda is passed. Could I have a motion to adopt the minutes of the January 25th, 2023 meeting, please? Director Chappell, and thank you, seconded by Director Broussard. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, the minutes are adopted. We have no delegations today, so I will pass it to Chief Lipinski for the first report, which is the Grand Prairie, Alberta police vote.
Well, thanks, Madam Chair. I have 2 rather short reports here. First of all, Grand Prairie, as you know, on March 7th, Grand Prairie City Council voted to transition from the RCMP to a municipal police service. It's a smaller detachment of 104 members. In the materials, it just explained a little bit about the process and some of the commentary from council and what their process was as they went through. But also I wanted to flag for you that they have contacted us, and they asked for the sharing of notes, if you will, or best practices. And so in some areas, we are assisting them, and especially in the legal area. So I'll leave it there. And if there's any questions or comments, be happy to answer the questions.
Thank you, Chief. Are there any questions for the Chief on the first report? Okay, thank you. No questions, and it's just for information, so we can go ahead and move to the next report. Thank you.
Thanks, Madam Chair. With regards to hiring and the diversity, this is a very important report. We have at present 219 members that are deployed, and we have about 88 experienced officers that are waiting for deployment, either in training or assigned to other duties. We have 24 recruits that are in various stages of training. We have experienced officers from across the country and 27 different agencies. And it's interesting to note that out of all the police officers that we have, about 60% come from municipal departments, 40% at the present time come from the RCMP. On page 2 of your materials is a little bit of a layout pertaining to the 3 recruit classes. And also very important is some of the statistics that we have pertaining to diversity. 20% female, and that is important because that is about what the average is in Canada among all agencies, 19, 20, 21. But also important is the 50% culturally diverse backgrounds, including 6% Indigenous, 21% South Asian. And of course, we speak a lot of languages, 38 in total. So I'm quite proud of the recruiting team. They've done a wonderful job. And we've covered off on various bases as we move forward and develop a progressive police service that will serve the citizens of Surrey and are presently out there doing a great job. So I'll end there, Madam Chair. Any questions? Happy to answer.
Thank you. Director Modell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Chief, for that report. I do have one question. You had mentioned that the 20% were female, which is pretty much in alignment with other municipal police forces that you mentioned. But I'd like to talk about the 50% culture diverse backgrounds. How does that stack up with other municipal departments that you've done comparative analysis with? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that question. It's pretty hard to compare because some agencies retain data and some do not. Just based on my experience in policing, that's better than average.
Thank you. Director Broussard.
Thanks, Madam Chair, and thanks, Chief, for your report. And I do echo your comments about the great job that our recruiting department has been doing, and our members that we're seeing on the road and in doing the operational stuff as well that are really reflective of our community. My question is around recruit class number 1, and I see that they're on the road now, they're fully qualified officers. Just curious if when they do come back as out of their last block and they're qualified, do they still work with their field trainer? Or can you tell me how that works?
Yeah, the short answer is no. So when they go to the JI for block 1, it's 3.5 months. Then they come out of that and it's called block 2. That is where for, I believe it's 4 months, they work with a field training officer. Then they go back for a final 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and then they graduate and they receive their certification as bona fide police officers in the province of BC. So they are full-time equivalent police officers. They are no longer called a recruit. And they are just like the experienced officers they're working alongside of. And, some watches just for 1 or 2 shifts have them ride along with somebody senior. But that is, generally speaking, if they're transferred to a different watch from where they were in block 2 with their FTO, etc. but they are fully qualified and they're capable of going out there and taking the calls, the investigations, just like any other police officer.
Thank you, Chief. I don't see any other questions, so we can move forward with your updates.
Yeah, just very quickly, not much to say other than the members on the front line are working extremely hard. It's busy. They're doing a great job, from investigations to community engagement, working alongside their colleagues, the RCMP. And they are looking forward to, just like the rest of us, for a decision from the provincial government. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Chief. Are there any questions about the Chief's updates? No? Okay, thank you. So we'll move next to the committee report. So we'll give it to Director Joel for the year-end report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If we could put up slide number 1. I'd like to give a financial update. The finance, sorry, if we go back to slide 1, please. Thank you. Finance Committee is presenting SPS's preliminary financial results for the year ended December 31st, 2022. As the city's year-end audit is currently underway, the financial information presented in the report is subject to change during the audit process, as SPS's financial statements are consolidated within the city's financial statements. We could turn to slide number 2, please. For background information, this slide presents Surrey's 2022 to 2026 financial plan for policing. The city's total policing budget for 2022 was $194.8 million, of which 72.5 was allocated to the SPS. We could turn to slide number 3. This is a summary of the SPS operations year-to-date expenditures. Total 2022 expenditures were $64.4 million for 2022, compared to a budget of $74.8 million available, which includes our capital reserve carried forward from prior years. So we were, in essence, $10.4 million below budget. Expenditures include $119,000 for board remunerations, $47.1 for salaries and benefits, $13.9 for Lower Mainland integrated teams, and $1.3 for capital expenditures, and $3.8 million for other expenditures, such as supplies and materials, training costs for new recruits, telecommunications, and outsourced services. At the end of 2022, we had a total of 386 employees. Of those, 326 were sworn members and 60 civilians. 357 of those employees were costed to SPS operations, and the remainder of 29 were assigned to temporary roles supporting the police transition. Therefore, their salaries and benefits were allocated to the Transition Project Fund. Next slide, please. The Finance Committee recommends receiving this report for information. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Joel. Are there any questions? Okay, seeing no questions, the report is received for information. Thank you. Next, under information, Melissa, would you like to speak to this?
This is for yours and the public's information that Director Joel has been reappointed through an order in cabinet with the term ending December 31st, 2024. So congratulations, Director Joel. Welcome.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Okay, thank you. We have no correspondence and no new business. So with that, the next meeting of the Surrey Police Board will be on April 26, 2023. If I could get a motion now to hold a meeting closed session. Director Broussard, Director Cloak, thank you. All in favor? Thank you. And a motion to adjourn, please. Director Caruana, Director Modell, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for today's meeting.